In this tutorial, we will be curating different types of digital assets within Tactic. DAM enthusiasts may quickly recognize that Tactic is not your typical DAM in the way it stores and maintains assets. The Tactic DAM was built with the understanding that each asset has its own life cycle, and the context of how, when, and where these assets are created and distributed really matters. In this tutorial, we are going to use a business use case that involves a media company that needs to consolidate their digital assets. Their assets originate from a number of different sources, like in-house content creators, smaller agencies, and freelancers. For this tutorial, you assume two roles, a content administrator and an editor. The content administrator will ingest assets and keywords, then use collections to organize assets for the editor to review. The editor will use collections to further organize those assets, then move finalized versions from the job asset library to the main centralized asset library. Let's get started by logging into Tactic with your trial admin credentials. From here, load the tutorial into your environment by going to the grid icon and selecting Tutorials from the drop-down. A Tutorials tab will appear with a list of choices. In this case, select Tutorial 2, Digital Asset Management, then click the Load button. Once the tutorial loaded message appears, you can begin. From the Tactic dashboard, click Create Job. A list of job types will appear. In this case, select Asset Selection. A Create New Asset Selection form will appear. This is where we add information about the job. In this example, we are going to use Content for Article ABC. Next, select a random date from the calendar pop-up if you'd like. Note that you are always able to adjust dates after the creation of a job. You can also add in extra details about the job if required. Once the form is complete, click the Create New Asset Collection button. An Ingest Files window will appear. For this tutorial, upload any type of asset from your computer into Tactic. In this case, I'm using still images, but any file type is acceptable. Once the upload is complete, reload the Job Assets tab with a right-click to see your uploaded files. On the left, you will notice two folders called Reference and Final. Next, we are going to add some custom keywords to our assets. There are two ways to do this. One quick way is to right-click on the asset and select Edit from the drop-down menu. Enter your keywords in the User Keyword text field. You'll notice your specific job ID in this field. You can keep it by adding a comma or delete it entirely. After you have entered your keywords, press the Save button. Another way to add keywords is to select the square icon on the top right of the asset. This option allows you to add keywords using the Edit User Keywords button. To ensure you have the most up-to-date keywords, the Versions tab allows you to view the most current version of an asset. You may also select keywords extracted directly from the file under the File Metadata tab. Notes can also be added to an asset using the Notes tab. Keywords can be added or removed at any point during the life cycle of an asset. Next, we are going to add a new collection to the Job Assets library. To add a new collection, go to the grid icon located in the menu bar on the middle right of the screen. Then select Create New Collection. A new collection form will appear. Fill in the name of the new collection and any other details you'd like to include. In this example, I'm using newspaper images as my collection name. You may also add keywords in this form. Once you have pressed Add, the new collection will appear in the left-hand sidebar within the Job Assets library. Select the assets that you want inside the collection and drag them over to the folder. Reload the Job Assets tab to see the files in the new collection. To remove assets from a collection, click the minus button. The trash can icon removes the asset from the library entirely. Now we will move on to the editor role, which includes adding assets and organizing collections, adding notes to assets, and moving final assets to the centralized asset library. To start, I will ingest a few more assets and add them to a collection. In this case, I'm uploading audio files. While making a new collection, I'll add a keyword while I'm in the form. Now, I'll organize these audio files into the new audio files collection folder that I just created. To add a note to an asset within a collection, go to the Switch Layout icon in the middle right of the screen. Then select Table Layout from the drop-down list. This table view allows you to view and enter notes. From here, find your asset, then click anywhere in the Notes column. Then add notes using the text box that appears. Now, as the editor, I would like to move approved assets to the Centralized Asset Library for delivery. To do this, select the file from the Job Asset Library, then select the Push to Asset Library button, which is the farthest button to your right. Since I'm working in a demo environment, you will see a list, but for this tutorial, select Tutorial 2 Video. Once pushed, go to the grid icon in the upper left corner, then select Asset Library from the drop-down. Here you will see your delivered assets. The designated user responsible for the Centralized Asset Library can then organize those final assets into collections as required. If I have completed my job as the editor, I can then change the status of the job to complete, which will then notify the appropriate users that the file has been delivered and where it is located. To do this, go back to the Job tab, then select Complete using the Status drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. This extra layer of asset organization ensures your centralized asset repo is not polluted with work-in-progress assets or reference files, for example. Tactic DAM has the ability to ingest and manage any enterprise volume of digital assets. Please contact us today for your free trial. Thanks for watching.